Okay, so this is the video for the homework assignment, page 173, 14 to 34 even, and I'm going to do 13 to 33 odd. Right, so you have to find the equation of a line with the given slope and containing the point, and you want it in slope-intercept form. So remember, I want you to write the point, and the point they give you is 1, 2, and the slope, which is m equals 3, and then what form they want it. They want slope-intercept, so I told you to write SI, which is y equals mx plus b. Now, you need to write x1, y1, and we're plugging into point slope form. Alright, so y minus 2 is equal to 3 times x minus 1. They want it in slope-intercept, so I'm going to distribute my 3. So I have, I have y minus 2 is equal to 3x minus 3. Then I'm going to add 2 to both sides, giving me y equals 3x minus 1. That is in slope-intercept form, so you are good to go. Right here, they give me a point of 1, negative 3, and a slope of m equals negative 2. Again, they want it in slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. I'm going to label x1, y1, and I'm going to plug into point slope form, which again is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I have y minus negative 3 is equal to negative 2, which is my m in this case, x minus x1, which is 1 in this case. Add a line, change the sign. You get y plus 3 is equal to, distribute your negative 2, negative 2x, and you have negative 2 times negative 1, which is positive 2. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, so you get y equals negative 2x minus 1. And that's in slope-intercept form, so you're good to go. Okay, next we have negative 6, 2, and a slope of 1/2. And again, slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b is what they're looking for. Label x1, y1. So you have y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So I'm going to do y minus 2 is equal to 1/2 x minus negative 6. So add a line, change the sign over here. So you have y minus 2 is equal to 1/2 x plus 6. So you have two options here. You can either distribute the fraction or you can multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the fraction. It's up to you. I'm going to distribute the fraction. So I have y minus 2 is equal to 1/2 x plus 6/2, which we know 6/2 is the same as 3. So I have y minus 2 is equal to 1/2 x plus 3. Then I'm going to add 2 to both sides, giving me y equals 1/2 x plus 5. And I'm good there. Alright, so I've got my point of negative 3, 0, my slope of negative 9/10, and again I want it in slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. I'm going to label x1, y1, and I'm going to plug into point slope form, which is again is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I do y minus 0 equals negative 9/10 times x minus negative 3. Add a line, change the sign. So I have y minus 0 is just y minus negative 9/10 times x plus 3. I'm going to distribute again because I already have y isolated, so I might as well just distribute. Negative 9/10 x. I know it's going to be minus because a negative times a positive is a negative. So if you want to come over here, you can say negative 9/10 times 3 over 1. Remember, when you multiply fractions, just multiply straight across. So you have negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. And then 10 times 1 is just 10. So it's negative 27 over 10. So you have y equals negative 9/10 x minus 27 over 10. So for starting with number 21, find an equation of a line passing through the given points. This time they want us to use function notation to write the equation. So they didn't just gift wrap the slope for us this time. We're going to have to do a little bit of work. So we're going to have to use the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to find these last couple equations of lines. So label x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to plug in m equals y2 is 6 minus y1 is 0 over x2 is 4 minus x1 is 2. So 6 over 2 is 3. So I'm going to pick a point. Remember, we said always pick the point that has a 0 if you can. And my slope is 3. And how do they want us to write it? This time they want to write it in function notation. And we know function notation is f of x is equal to mx plus b. So I'm going to label x1, y1. So just like we did the other problems. So we're going to plug in y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm going to do y minus 0 equals 3 times x minus 2. Y equals, because y minus 0 is just y, distribute your 3x minus 6. Now I'm not done because this says y equals and I want f of x. So f of x equals 3x minus 6. Now you're in function notation. Alright, how about this one? So again, label x1, y1, x2, y2. And you're going to plug into m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have 13 minus 5 over negative 6 minus negative 2. Add a line, change a sign. 13 minus 5 is 8 over negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2 because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So our slope is negative 2. Now, neither of these points have a 0. And you have a negative and a positive and a negative and a positive. So it doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to choose negative 2, 5 because it just has smaller numbers to make my life easier. And the slope is negative 2. We just figured that out. And they want it in function notation, which I know is f of x is equal to mx plus b. Okay? I'm going to label x1, y1. And I'm going to plug in to y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Here we go. Y minus 5 is equal to negative 2 times x minus negative 2. Add a line, change a sign. Y minus 5 is equal to, distribute your negative 2, negative 2x minus 4, and then you're going to add 5 to both sides, and you get y equals negative 2x plus 1. Change your y to f of x, and you get f of x equals negative 2x plus 1. Okay, so again, label x1, y1, x2, y2. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I have negative 3 minus negative 4 over negative 4 minus negative 2. Add a line, change a sign. Add a line, change a sign. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1 over negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. So your slope is negative 1/2. So again, when you go to choose one of the points, they both have two negative numbers. They're both low. It's not going to really matter. I'm just going to choose negative 4, negative 2, negative 4. And our slope is negative 1/2. And they still want us to put it in function notation, which again we know is f of x is equal to mx plus b. So I'm going to label x1, y1, and we're going to plug into point slope form. Okay, so y minus negative 4 is equal to negative 1/2 times x minus negative 2. Add a line, change a sign. Add a line, change a sign. So we have y plus 4 is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 2. All right, function notation. Distribute the negative 1/2, so we have y plus 4 is equal to negative 1/2 x minus, now look, negative 1/2 times 2 over 1 is going to give you negative 2 over 2. Multiply straight across. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 2 over 2 is just negative 1. So don't overthink it. It's not that difficult, okay? Then we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, leaving you y equals negative 1/2 x minus 5, and then we're just going to change y to f of x. So don't freak out about the fractions, guys. They're making them very, very clean for you. All right, here we go again. x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 9 minus negative 8 over negative 6 minus negative 3. Okay, so we have negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So we're going to end up with 1/3. Okay, so our slope is going to be 1/3. So it doesn't matter which point we use. They both have negatives. We're going to use negative 3, 8 because those negative 3, negative 8 because those points are, that point's a little bit smaller of numbers. And our slope is positive 1/3 because it was a negative over a negative. Again, still want it in function notation. So it's f of x equals mx plus b. Yes, you're having to write these formulas 1,000 times, but that's going to help you remember what they are on the day of the test. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus negative 8 is equal to 1/3 x minus negative 3. Add a line, change a sign, add a line, change a sign. So we have y plus 8 is equal to 1/3 x plus, now look, 1/3 times 3 over 1 is equal to 3/3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 over 3 is 1. They're not making it very difficult on you guys. Subtract 8 from both sides. You get y equals 1/3 x minus 7. Change y to f of x. 1/3 x minus 7. Okay? All right. Ooh, fun. Okay. So label x1, y1, x2, y2. So m equals 7/10 minus 4/10 over negative 1/5 minus 3/5. Okay? So when you subtract fractions, remember you keep a common denominator. So we're going to have over 10. 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. So it's 3/10 over. Keep your common denominator down here. So you have negative 1 minus 3. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. So you have 3/10 over negative 4/5. You're going to multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator. So we multiply by 5 over negative 4. 5 over negative 4. These all cancel, leaving me 15 over negative 40, which can be reduced to 3 over negative 8. Okay? Now, the point you're going to want to use is 3/5 and 4/10 because it's both positives, and your slope is going to be negative 3/8, and they want it in function notation, which is f of x is equal to mx plus b. Label this x1, y1. So we're going to do y minus 4/10, which we should really reduce, but we'll leave it for a second, is equal to negative 3/8 x minus 3/5. And being that that's 3/5, let's go over here and let's reduce this to 2/5. And that way we'll have common denominators. All right. Good times. Okay, so let's go ahead and distribute. We want it in function notation, right? So we're going to distribute this. So we have y minus 2/5. Let's get rid of the fractions. I actually think that would be better in this case. Let's not distribute. we're going to get rid of the fraction. So in order to get rid of the fraction, you have to find the LCD. So what would be the LCD between 8 and 5? It'd be 40, right? So we're going to multiply both sides by 40. Okay, so this is going to be 40y minus what is that, 8, 16 is equal to negative 15 times x minus, and this will still be 3/5. Okay, so 40y minus 16 is equal to, distribute the negative 15x plus, and if you say negative 15 over 1 times negative 3/5, if you cross reduce, this becomes negative 3, so it's going to be positive 9. Okay. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides, and you're going to get 40y is equal to negative 15x plus 25. Divide everything by 40, and you get y equals, I need to reduce this, so it's going to be negative 3/8 x plus, this can be reduced to, plus 5/8. So f of x is equal to negative 3/8 x plus 5/8. Now, I promise you there will not be anything on the test that's anything like that. Okay? I promise, so don't worry about it. Okay, find an equation of each line graphed, write the equation in standard form. Now don't freak out, all you have to do is take the points from the graph. So what is this point right here? It is 1, 1, right? So just write that down, 1, 1. And then what is this point? It's 0, 3. 0, 3. And then just treat it like any other problem. So label it x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to say m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's going to give me 3 minus 1 over 0 minus 1. So m is equal to 2 over negative 1, which is negative 2. So I'm going to use the point 0, 3, and my slope is negative 2. And they want it in standard form, which I know is ax plus by equals c. A cannot be negative and cannot be a fraction. Alright, so I'm going to plug into y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. This is going to be my x1 and my y1. There we go. Alright, y minus 3 is equal to negative 2 x minus 0. Y minus 3 is equal to negative 2x. Add 3 to both sides. So I have y equals negative 2x plus 3. Add 2x to both sides. So I have 2x plus y is equal to 3. Make sure that my a is not a fraction and that it's not negative. I'm good in both cases. So 2x plus y equals 3 is in standard form, and I am good to go. Same thing on this one, figure out what the 2 points are. This point here is negative 2, 1. So I'm going to write that down. And then this point here is 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay? So then label them. x1, y1, x2, y2. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is 5 minus 1 over 4 minus negative 2, right? So I have 4 over 6, which we're going to reduce to 2/3, right? Okay, so I'm going to choose the point 4, 5 because they're both positive, and my slope is 2/3, and we want it in standard form, which remember, ax plus by equals c. A can't be a fraction, and a cannot be negative. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus 5 equals 2/3 x minus 4. All right, so in this case, I know since it's standard form that a can't be a fraction, so I'm going to go ahead and clear this fraction now by multiplying both sides of my problem by 3. Oops. So I'm going to do 3 here and 3 here. So this becomes 3y minus 15, and this 3 cancel. It gives me 2 times x minus 4. So I have 3y minus 15 is equal to 2x minus 8. Okay, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides, giving me 3y minus 7 is equal to 2x. Then I'm going to subtract 3y over here. Remember, the reason I'm not moving this 2x over here is because then this 2 would be negative, and a cannot be negative. So I have negative 7 is equal to 2x minus 3y, which is standard form. I just need to switch them around. 2x minus 3y is equal to negative 7. That is standard form, and that is your answer. You guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.